Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What do you get when you mix two white boys, both named Mike? A thing for Justin Timberlake and a piercing above your eye. Was he high? Their stories alone could make you cry. That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers, water. Bad
Never
luck.
that. Yeah.
Bad luck's in you on your birthday. Happy birthday, sweet buttercup.
Thanks, pal.
Did Alex wish you a happy birthday upon
She
your
did
arrival?
after Mike Harrington did,
Wow.
which then reminded her of a fact that she actually follow-up admitted to never knew. So it was actually not it wasn't like yes, you remind me. She said, and I quote, "I didn't even know your birthday was in this season."
Oh,
I thought
wow.
that Feeney feels like a summer baby, you know?
In what
I do
way?
have summer vibes.
You
yeah, he
don't.
has
I
summer
have
boy
summer
vibes.
No,
energy.
you're blustery
Thank you.
winter,
No,
cold.
yeah, you're winter boy. You're
I'm
winter
not.
boy.
I'm spring. Spring is sprung. In like a lion, out like a lamb.
No,
That's
none
me.
of those things.
A lion?
Yeah,
Lions
you're
have
the
furrowed
lion that
brows.
has the fucking fucking
A thorn in his hoof.
yeah.
Paw?
Yeah, pause. What I was,
His paw.
yeah. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Irish Goodbye Podcast, a storytelling podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Feeney, and with me, as always,
Mike Cannon, a special birthday episode. A Michael T. Feeney birthday episodic
now,
Noir.
let's think about this. How many years have we been doing the podcast?
7.
Not even. It couldn't be 7 because then it would have been a Thursday again. Because my birthday's never fallen on a day we've recorded.
That's right. How
So-
many years does it take for it to fall on another?
Every 7 years.
I see. What?
Well, no, because leap year does something.
Oh, right. Leap year might fuck it up, but yeah.
7 days a week.
So next, yeah.
I gotta tell you, I'm still on mushrooms. I've had a long
I didn't
day.
realize until I was driving over the bridge, but then that's
I mean, I knew it before then. I just was trying to block it out, and I'm trying my best to stay on track, but the world is holding me down right now. I'm having a tough time.
Look how good your lighting. I look like I'm lit with every bright light. I look like I'm a
me
white
see.
Casper the Ghost. Now look how tan.
yeah.
It's
Wow.
like look, there's like a filter. There's a warm filter on yours, and I'm apparently in a Walmart somewhere.
I look like I'm in an 80s snow tavern having a cocoa between runs.
yeah.
Harrington, shut your face.
Well, he's doing the thing, but Alex should mute her mic for sure. But
I do appreciate
as we figure out the
laugh,
lighting
though.
issue, yeah, I do need it.
I need it so much, and her escalation in note right there
Yes.
really made me feel good. There's a lot of things I'm going to be commenting on in real time that don't necessarily need any...
Okay, I'll just run right over
Thank
you.
you.
I want to thank you actually for getting me this bottle of the rock. Look how bright it is. You can't even see.
Wow.
The
Nobody
the
white
letters.
balanced.
Yeah, there's no white
You
balance.
should have just
Oh.
banged it against Feeney's forehead, and then you would have been able to get a true to color frame.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually have a quick
Get a little
of this.
swig of Terramana.
Just
and if I don't mind
Terramana.
tooting my own dick here, it's also an anniversary for yours truly. It's my 2 years no boozing.
So you just bought it and stared.
No, I like watching my friends throw away their lives.
Uh-oh.
Imagine that's who I become. I'm like, listen, I got such positive reinforcement from my desire for like post about my 2-year anniversary
Yeah.
of no boozing.
Yeah.
That this is who I am.
Well, the fact that you made the post is who you are now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each and every year now I'm expected to make some sort of post about how much better I am without poison.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I fall off the wagon and it makes everybody in the digital sphere uncomfortable.
I was thinking about that. Does that technically count as being off the no, I shouldn't say off the wagon. The phrase I was going to say was relapse. Does it technically count as a relapse if you voluntarily stopped but also do other things and then voluntarily go back to drinking?
Well, the thing is, it wouldn't to me, but it certainly would to the general public. I would be able to intellectualize it and be like, all right, I did my time sober. It started out as an insolidarity with Nicole during pregnancy. It ran its course and went for a really long time. I got my mind
great.
together. I learned how to potentially drink in a much more
Hell of a run.
constructive way. But people publicly would be like, Mike's got a beer.
Yeah, I think they'd be like, the bitch is back. You know, they'd
That's
be
right.
excited.
A lot of people, definitely. When I said shout out to none of my friends for their support, I really meant that. And I got a lot of like hurt text messages from people who have specifically not supported this endeavor.
Well, I'm gonna talk for a minute so that Alex can get the camera on me because she's been waiting to cut to me so that we can fix this this god awful lighting situation. But
No, what the good thing is though,
No,
how
don't you
hard
talk.
I really tried hard to wear a mask this entire time and keep my distance from everybody. But I'm glad Bobby now is leaning over my back to fix the lights.
go ahead,
It
you
certainly
can
makes
do it for
feel
me,
as safe as
Bobby, and
humanly
I'll be
possible.
apparently on camera. Now you have to cut to me,
Yeah,
and so it's
yeah.
almost as this.
Oh,
Where's
and
the Bobby cam?
You're not around anybody else ever, right? Like the dirtiest podcast on the network. You're not. I'm just kidding, Bobby. I trust you. But I did get some pretty unfortunate support by people that are just like, I stopped drinking in the sense that I'm not. What?
Bobby just broke the thing off the studio. He walked in, and he walked out. Oh, okay, fun. This is kind
Wow.
of the fun stuff you get to see.
Yeah. Well, do you have a tail? Why did that hit that without you knowing?
First, Ryan Long breaks the TV monitor in studio. Bobby comes in
Oh,
and
is that
fucking
why-
choke slams the fucking.
Is that why we're watching ourselves on a Palm Pilot right now
Yeah.
that's glued to the wall?
Yes.
So you were in the middle of a thing, but also, cheers to you,
Cheers.
pal, and
Enjoy. In good health.
Yeah.
Hopefully you
wait,
become as handsome, charming,
Fuck.
and strong as the Rock with each sip.
Alex, could I actually have a cup? Because I realize I should not drink right this out of the bottle just
Why?
for
It's
pure.
yours.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have it, but also just to feel like as a respectful thing to Eric.
Brendan's gonna pull from that thing like a fucking gerbil in a cage.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. He put up a thing today that said, "Thank you very much." He goes, "I am." He goes, "Happy birthday, Feeney," whatever. He's like, "To a person I spend 93% of my life talking to." And you're like, it's true because
Yeah.
we do the podcast, we talk during the day or whatever. Then we do the podcast. Then we play video games together. The only time we're not talking, I think, is when he's sleeping.
And I think he confuses you for me because he always tells me that we're constantly talking, and I'm like, I gotta tell you, bud, you haven't called me in months.
Really?
Yeah, he
I feel
called
like
me.
you guys talk a lot.
No, he called me when I was in Pennsylvania, and I appreciated it, but I was unable to pick up, and then I never called him back, and I forgot until I FaceTimed him with somebody, and he fuck you buttoned me. So now I'll never call him again.
Well, good. This is a great episode. This is going to be because we have
what I was gonna read real quick.
I'm going to shoot this.
I got I'm not gonna say who this is from, but there's certain people that I almost feel bad that they're like congratulating me on sobriety because I'm not sober. Like I'm still getting high. I'm obviously doing mushrooms and playing golf in December. I'm living my goddamn life.
It's a very good tequila, by the way. It was
Nice.
very smooth. It didn't make me do the
Yeah.
fucking, which
good to
usually
hear.
it would.
Well, I'll pass
new
your
sponsor.
I'll pass your good notes on to Dwayne.
Yeah.
But certain people that have gone through it themselves, they reach out and they're like, "Oh man, congratulations! Every day is a blessing," and they'll spit some program jargon at you. And I'm familiar with it because I've been going to AA since I was fucking 4 years old.
Right.
But I actually, for me personally,
Partied real hard as a toddler. You wouldn't.
when there was a 4-year-old, my dad. I've talked about
Yes,
this, right?
many times.
Yeah.
I was just,
Yeah, just a bunch of stressed out children pounding fucking, give me a grape juice box straight. Just, not being able to handle their own parents' fucking weirdness. So, but I got this message today and it said, "Oh, congrats on 2 years. Amazing. I actually know your dad because I also have 7.5 years no alcohol. If you ever need anything, let me know. God bless." And it's like, that's what I get. That's what I get for fucking fishing. You know what I mean? For casting that out there, of course, somebody with some connection to my father and the fucking program is going to come nibbling around and just be like, "Hey, each day is a blessing. Please, please."
Yeah. Oh man, do you remember what was the last drink you had?
I was in the airport leaving New Orleans. My sister sent me a video, which I wanted to play for the podcast, but I don't know if it's appropriate. I didn't want to do it without your
Is it
blessing.
sincere?
No, it's the video of you smiling with your eyes closed and then ripping back a shot.
For
on
sure,
your
play
birthday.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
put that
okay.
up. Bring that up.
Excellent.
I'm pretty proud of it, actually.
I thought you'd be embarrassed.
No, have you seen my Instagram today? I posted I put up a compilation because if my birthday falls on a Thursday, so I'm like, oh, Throwback Thursday. I'll fucking put together every horrific waste face of my drinking, and they get worse as the years go on.
What's your most memorable birthday as a child, as an adult?
As an adult,
What was your laugh about?
we all know what the laugh was about.
What? That it's a bad question?
That was a great question.
Oh, okay.
You stumbled and stuttered
Did I?
through it. Yeah.
Only just a little. But like,
You're like, what was it your best birthday?
I gotta tell you, each time Alex defies me, it causes an irreparable rift in the show, and one that I'm not going to be able to fucking like.
Well,
But you gave me like a chuckle. It
from.
was like a friendship thing, you know?
A friendship thing. Why did I get mad at that one?
I don't know what's happening on that side of the room, but over here it's tequila and White Claw. It's a good time.
I just know what it's like to talk while you're a little on mushrooms. I was like, I get it.
So, but no, great question. I think one of the best birthdays was 21 because first I got to do a pre-birthday thing where I went out with my dad on I think it was like my actual 21st, and that was we went to like 3 or 4 different staple bars in New York City, which I think I've talked about before. We went to fucking McSorley's. We went to the 21 Club. We went highbrow, fucking bottom of the barrel.
Each bar, he told you a certain story that meant the most to him as a father. Because that's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing just the best father-son.
And he goes, and here's why we'll be bonded together forever, and I'll always support you.
And buddy, this is the first time I was proud of you. Boom, 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 boom. And you know what? You never let me down. Even when you made a mistake, I knew it was all in an effort to grow.
So you were there, I guess. But the actual birthday, my 21st birthday party was at this place Galway. I think this is closed now, but it was right near the Empire State Building, Galway Hooker, and it was a bunch of my friends, and we all like friends from college, friends from Long Island, friends from all that shit. So we went to this, we had a 3-hour open bar. We got this back room in this fucking packed bar, this Midtown bar, and it was awesome. They were super cool. My buddy, though, we were in my apartment. We had just moved to Queens, I guess, that summer. So we were in my first apartment, and my buddy came over. We still had a bottle of Everclear left over from college because how many years does it take to go through that? Yeah. So my friend from Long Island was like, let's fucking do shots. Let's pregame. And I'm like, whoa.
Shots.
And I was like, we're going to an open bar for 3 hours. So like, I don't know that we need to like fully, I'll have like a beer, but we don't need to pregame. He goes, what's that? And I go, oh, this is Everclear. This is 187 proof. You don't want to have this.
This is what you take the paint off of your car with.
Yeah. This is how it says in bold that you will go blind if you have too much of it. So, and he's like, let's fucking do it. So he does. I think he did 2 shots of it, and then we drove. We took the train into the city. We go to the bar. We start drinking. I mean, within a half hour, he's unconscious, like out cold in our thing, which started our whole friendship thing of like always. We took this great picture of me like doing a crazy air, like a guitar, playing his leg like a guitar, but like crazy. I did like a Van Halen
right near his dick.
I got well, that was how I tuned it.
You played long arm bass.
But it became a running joke because he eventually got kicked out of the bar. We all got kicked out or whatever. And then the next year we went back to Galway Hooker again because I'm like, let's recreate the magic. It wasn't as they put us in a different part of the bar. They were more assholes to us. And then
those are those fun midtown bar deals too, where you win a raffle, but everybody wins the raffle, and then you get a $30 open bar, and they water the shit down.
It takes forever to get drinks, but
Nick Fadden's used to do that on 2nd Ave.
Yep.
I used to go there all the time and do an open bar. I watched Michael Phelps win his 8th gold medal in that bar during an open bar, and I think I threw up in the corner right after he won, and then got a vodka soda.
But it was great. And then I went to the 22nd birthday, and that was when I got kicked out because I got too drunk and then ended up throwing up. They gave us a bottle because they had not treated us nearly as well as the year before, and we were being like drunk people making a scene about like customer service, that kind of a thing. So
drunk whites.
Yeah, drunk whites. And so we go downstairs and they go downstairs and they're like, we're sorry. The manager, we send his apologies for the customer service because they kind of told us we'd have a private area, and then there was another party wedged up against ours. And so it became like a whole thing. And so they were like, to make up for it, here's a bottle on us. And I was like, they're like, we got a bottle of Patron.
What was it, Kahlua?
So they go, Patron. And I go, all right, now we're fucking talking. Let's get it. And then they come over and it's Cafe Patron, which is their coffee-flavored tequila, and it's dark brown. And of course,
in a pinch, I've drank it at 10 a.m.
So we start drinking that because we're like, we're not gonna let it go to waste, and it's disgusting. It's so gross and mixed with all the other shots and Mind Eraser shots. I don't know if you remember those and stuff like that. You have it with it's like I think it's Jägermeister, club soda, and vodka or something.
And those
like
places had like lemon drop shots, like all
that
the
shit.
Cosmo shots. That was all.
I got so drunk, so sick. I passed out. Then my friends played My Leg Like a Guitar, which is one of the pictures I put up. And then I threw up into the champagne bucket, and they were like, "You and your whole crew out for the second year in a row."
Dude, I've had Everclear twice in my life, and both times ended in spectacularly poor fashion. I think I've told the one story, but might have been in like the first 3 episodes of the podcast, so it bears repeating. But we made that shit the Green Dragon. You've heard of that when you soak you soak a 1/4 ounce of weed in the bottom of an Everclear for like 3 weeks.
Oh, what?
And because it's pure grain alcohol, it's like super soluble, so it completely takes up all of the THC. Then you strain it, and it looks like this dark green death liquid. And so you take a shot, just one or a half, and you're high off of your dick hole for 6 hours.
Oh my God.
So I, in classic ass fashion, my first year of drinking, I'm at Geneseo. Of course, I want to show off because my tolerance is the best. I come from the fucking gutter. I come from the gutter. I come from
it's a pretty nice neighborhood.
Yeah. I meant with like drinking, and I was trying to toughen it up and sound competitive.
You don't need to. We're here for you. We're on your side.
Yeah. I come from the gutter. But
careful now.
But so I was at this party, and it was an off-campus party, I think at a place that ended up being a scene of a double murder.
Oh my God.
After I left, 2 people on Wadsworth in Geneseo got fucking stabbed. An ex-girlfriend and her new lover by her ex-boyfriend. He went in
such a terrible
with
way to go.
a scissor, stabbed them both. Both of y'all dead.
So what was the fun birthday story?
So this one,
No, Everclear.
yeah. So why are my cheeks rosy? Is that me?
Your camera's getting better and mine's getting worse. Look at this. Look at this lighting. What's happening?
I feel like
do I have to go down here and duck underneath all the lighting?
Nope. That's worse. You're getting
It's
bags
getting
under
way
your
worse.
eyes.
Yeah. What's happening? Alex, fix it.
You look like Death in the second Bill and Ted.
I know. I don't look. It's not complimentary at all. This is after last week where we talked about how good the camera looked this way and
That's
not
right.
that way. It's as if they overcompensated.
Did you? Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not good.
I guess I'll be on this side of the camera having a police turn their siren on me and go, "Hey, what are you doing over there?" That's what this lighting looks like on me.
Their
What?
siren?
I can't see. Flashlight.
Mag light. Yeah. God, I've always wanted to hit somebody in the forehead with a huge mag light.
I would like to hit them in the knee.
See, I know what it's like to be hit in the knee.
Yeah.
And that really sucks. And I don't want to wish it even on my worst
Because
enemy.
even if they're mad, they can't get away.
Yeah, but I'd love to club a fucking criminal like a baby seal. Like just like right to the crown of the forehead, shatter their fucking skull.
Feel
their
the D
eyes
batteries
fall.
moving back and forth with the inertia of the strike.
Just right down, right there to the point where it goes like down the middle of the skull, your eyes lazy and fall out the sides.
Oh, wow.
And then you're just
Thought
tongue
about this a lot.
Yeah, that would be exactly what I'm looking for. But
So
I want to drown somebody in a bathtub.
really?
yes.
Yeah.
A kid or
no,
an adult?
like a bitch that I don't like.
Wow.
Oh.
You think you could hold them down with the please of their bulging eyes?
That's if I had to.
if you
that's,
had to,
like,
if you had any way to kill somebody, you would choose drown choking them to death?
I think so.
See, this is the difference between Alex and I too. She's like, if I had to, I'm saying if I get to,
Yeah.
I would be able to do that. I would complain. That would be one of the easiest.
That's a
ones,
fun
because
one, right? Like
I'd
you can feel the power. Like,
you'd get competitive while you're doing it. You'd almost forget that it was a life or death situation, and then after you killed them, you'd probably feel remorse.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's the problem is you'd be racked with so much guilt. What I'm looking for is more the death that I set up for them to fall prey and victim to, and that way when they die, I could write that off as, well, I didn't physically take the life from them, and that's how I can...
What are you, Dr. Evil? You're just going to put somebody in a room with sharks and lasers?
No, I'll watch it, but I'll be like, the sharks and lasers killed them, not me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you're like, oh, well, technically I wasn't fully... The people I hired to kill didn't have to do it. They didn't have to do it.
That's where we're different because I want to do
Catholic,
it. I want to
baby.
do it up close and personal to the point where I can feel their soul leave their body and travel through mine to get up to heaven.
I never want them to even know what hit them, like an Italian mafia whack.
Oh, I want them to be the entire time just being like, "This is how it ends. I can't believe it. Mike's killing me. This is not how I saw it ending." And I'm just like, "Ah!"
Yeah, that would be terrifying. So, happy birthday.
Hold on. So
finish your fucking
all right,
story.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Too busy riffing.
You mentioned you went into great detail about multiple murders so far.
Yeah,
the
bucko.
scissor standing. And
we got nothing. I don't know what you're hoping for.
What do you mean? I have a
I'm
fucking,
surfing the terrestrial planes right now, pal. You better you better pull me back to Earth. I'm kite surfing.
I'm doing it right now.
All right.
Oh, close.
I was a little throat spit away from a real mistake.
I watched your eyebrows like a fucking belly dancer go up and down.
I just swash spit from behind a molar to make sure I wasn't anti-Semitic. So I take a sip of this fucking green liquid. You haven't tried this, Alex? This seems like it would be right up your alley.
What,
No, Alex
what is it
doesn't
called
drink.
again?
The green monster?
No, I've never had that.
Or green dragon. I'm sorry, green dragon.
No.
So yeah, and I think most people do like an eighth of weed. This one in particular was a quarter because the guys that I came up and started smoking weed with were like intense. Weird. They had an impact on me.
Yeah.
So I take a shot of this. And I'm at this party, and I'm talking to this girl, and we are vibing beyond belief. And I'm in that mode where I'm both like kind of stoned, but not really, but more feeling good from the one shot of Everclear.
Sure.
And I'm like sipping a beer, and I'm just annihilating talking to this girl. I can't believe it. I told her what I was drinking. I offered it to her. She was like, I don't know if I can handle it. I was like, don't even worry about it. I'll handle it for both of us. I was like, don't take it.
It'll be cool. Here you go.
Yeah.
Up.
No. I was like, I want to make sure you're awake. I'll fucking get weird, all that stuff. And so we're talking. I'm like, you know what? I don't really feel it yet. Classic 35 minutes in situation. I'm like, I don't even feel it yet. Go to the kitchen, rip a second one, go back into this. We're watching beer pong. We're talking to the girl. And I'm like, do you want a beer? And I'm fine at this point. Like, I'm like, you want a beer? And she's like, yeah, I'll take a beer. I'm like, all right, great. I get up and I trip over her and I fall onto the couch and roll around for 50 minutes until I picked up my arms and everyone was gone. The party was over. I literally just rolled.
They had to make way for the paramedics. They're like, sir, we're going to need you guys to clear out because this man is having a manic episode.
He's fighting demons and he's covering up. He's not even throwing hooks or jabs.
He's just in the corner taking it. Just blow after blow of body shots.
The mental demons are sneaking in uppercuts through his blood protection. And then the second time I had Everclear, we made it for Punch in my apartment in the Meadows in Geneseo, and we did a third Red Bull, a third Gatorade, a third Everclear, or like 2 bottles of Everclear, and then we put rainbow sherbet in it.
Wow.
It was unfucking believable. I don't recommend this to anybody because I'm pretty sure everyone fell asleep and we got robbed. Like it was like the worst college party we ever threw because everybody was like, yeah, wake up and we're all shoeless and the TV's gone and we're like, what the fuck? What just happened?
Oh, man. I remember used to mix Everclear in, like, those giant storage container buckets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just make jungle juice with Everclear.
We made it in that one, like the blue one that Walter White put the body in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's welcome to college. I've never once looked. Every time I see one of those on sale somewhere, I'm like, oh, what a hangover that was.
Just a shiver up your spine. Guys, today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Listen, this is canon. You know I am batshit out of my mind clinging to sanity, both emotionally and mentally. And Feeney, I mean, let's not even, the kid can't even talk during this ad because he's so fucking bound emotionally and he doesn't know how to share or communicate his feelings. BetterHelp offers professional counseling done securely online. So if you feel like there's something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, definitely check out BetterHelp. Especially now, obviously, there's a pandemic. Unemployment is at an all-time high. Businesses are crashing and everybody hates each other. This is a perfect time to log on to BetterHelp.com, find a therapist that suits your needs, talk with them, air out your shit so you don't go in the world and take it out on somebody that you love. Whatever you're dealing with, BetterHelp has a wide range of counselors available for you. Plus, BetterHelp is more affordable than traditional offline counseling. That's why I had to stop seeing my therapist. Besides, he told me to quit comedy, but also he was just very, very expensive. And after a while, I was like, listen, if I wanted to be told to quit comedy or to quit, I at least want to fucking break price-wise. But their services are available worldwide, and it's quick and easy to get started. So it's not just for our American audience, it's everybody in our international waters as well. So once you sign up, BetterHelp will match you with your own licensed professional therapist that you'll be able to communicate with in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online. And BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so it is easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's like Tinder for your fucking brain, bro. Get your cerebellum jacked off by a competent professional. You can log into your account and send a message to your counselor at any time, and you'll get timely and thoughtful responses. So if you thought you were a little bizarre when you had your in-person therapy doctor that you were reaching out to at odd hours on a Monday because your brain can't shut the fuck off once it hits the pillow, then feel that no more. No shame, no game. You reach out to your doc at any point, and they are forced by contract to reach out with a thoughtful response. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room like with traditional therapy again. Also, if money is tight, financial aid is available. This is huge, guys. Huge. Take advantage of this, please. Basically, BetterHelp wants to help you start living a happier life today. So go to BetterHelp.com/goodbye. That's BetterHelp.com/goodbye to join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. New testimonials from users are posted daily. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. So go to BetterHelp.com/goodbye. That's BetterHelp.com/goodbye. That's BetterHelp.com/goodbye to get 10% off your first month. One more time. BetterHelp.com/goodbye for 10% off your first month. Do yourself a favor, sign up, start expressing yourself, and you're going to walk around with way less weight on your shoulders. Take it from me, the angriest guy you listen to.
Now, let me ask you this, Mike.
Yes?
It's a very important question.
All right.
And I feel like you're in the perfect mindset to answer this truthfully, honestly, and purposefully.
Okay.
Alex, you can sound off on this too.
Okay.
Now, that somehow went only into your mouth this
I also went... I wish the camera was on.
Mike,
is anybody else having a good time? Like
Mike,
other people watching this?
you can't tell I'm actively was laughing. So I did it into the microphone.
I decided you weren't real, and I needed to know what the computer had to say.
Everybody loves it.
Okay, cool.
We got the live stream. Thanks for everybody. You can watch every single week on GasDigitalNetwork.com or on YouTube. You can watch the live stream for free and comment and hang out. People hang out. People hanging out.
And then it goes
people hanging
private until it airs Monday.
You know the deal.
We told you.
Mike Cannon. Do sharks have tongues?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They're empty. Yeah, no tongues. They're just skin cylinders.
But a whale does, right?
Yeah, but that's different. They
Alex,
eat krill.
does a shark have a tongue?
No, well, I don't know,
and whales are mammals. Sharks are cold-blooded murder weapons.
Before you look up the answer, let me tell you or you could start looking up the answer, Alex. But here's what last night I was on.
Were you thinking about what it would be like to tongue kiss a shark?
No, I was on because like alligators and crocodiles, they obviously have tongues. We all know that because that's what it touches for them to close their mouth, right? So I'm picturing Alex. Can you pull up the picture of the shark from Finding Nemo? Because when I picture a shark, that's the shark I'm picturing, and he's definitely got a tongue. I think.
Yeah. Well, Sonic had human teeth.
Well, he never actually did because when the movie came out, they'd fixed it.
That's right, but nobody saw it.
But that was a nightmare.
Everybody saw the trailer. Nobody saw the movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jim Carrey was like lights out in it too.
Was he?
It should have been his like comeback comedy performance. Yeah.
Plagued by a terrible decision to make human teeth. Anyway, so look. Oh wait, no, there's no tongue there. Fuck! I thought he had a tongue. I'm picturing a tongue for some reason. So anyway, I'm talking last night on Twitch about a tongue, and my buddy about sharks having tongues. My buddy Billy goes. First off, Brendan immediately was like, "Well, yeah, of course, with the shark tongues, you know how it is." And I go, and then Billy comes in and he goes, "Sharks don't have tongues? What are you talking about? Sharks definitely don't have tongues." And I go, "Don't they?" And he goes, "No, it's a different species. They don't have tongues." And I go, "Oh, fuck. I always pictured them with a tongue. What the fuck?" And by the way, Alex, did you look up the answer?
Well, I looked up, do sharks have tongues, and found some photoshopped ones that look kind of similar.
No, but type in Google, do sharks have tongues, and see what the first response is. Because by the way, they do have tongues.
Wow.
They do have tongues. It's called something else, but pull it up and put it on the screen, Alex.
Brendan guessed tongue or no tongue?
Brendan just said, well, of course, because of the tongues. But then once Billy was like,
Brendan,
there's no tongues.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Brendan Sagalow doesn't know anything.
No. He's very
guesses.
hurt by the amount we talk about him negatively.
No, he's not. Because I actually talked about him positively on the last episode. But I don't think he knows anything about shark facts or tongues. And I think he guesses a lot with confidence. And I don't know who would be offended at that.
Well, I tell you one. So show the result. Look at this. They do have a tongue. It's referred to as but I can't even read it. Bashahil. I can't see it. It's too small, the font, because the TV is small because an influencer broke it. Basial. And so they do have a fucking tongue. I was right. And go to that first picture, I think, or maybe the second one that's right there. I thought they would have a... Yeah, if you look, they do have a little tiny, like if that second picture, Alex, the second one over. Yeah, that one. You see the bottom of their mouth there. I mean, how did that happen?
Oh, all right.
I thought I thought
you show us a Photoshop buck teeth one?
I thought I had opened this in a different tab.
Was that your personal collection of shark
Alex was like, here's just something I'm going to work into the show because I'm pretty proud of it.
I thought I had opened
Look, there's a tongue.
Where?
On the bottom of his mouth.
Where?
Does it lift, though? It looks like it's like webbed to the bottom of his mouth, like way
it
more.
It might be, but
it just looks like our roof of our mouth on the bottom of its mouth.
Yeah, but it technically, if you go back to the Google,
but it doesn't have like a cunnilingus tongue. Like it can't eat a shark's pussy.
Why not?
Because it can't. It's behind rows of teeth.
I don't think it could like stick it out and lick you.
No, but that's a different. You're thinking of tongue in the general terms, baby. I'm talking about.
Does shark pussy taste like human?
Tastes like chicken. Shark tastes like chicken. Very saltwatery, salty. Sea salt, Salt Bay. Help.
I was so wrapped up in my question.
So I don't even know why we got on. I thought that would be a fun thing if we try to figure out sharks, because I went from feeling dumb to feeling vindicated to feeling dumb again to being like, I was kind of right, because they do
Nobody
it. Nobody
should know that. Like that's why I'm not insulting Brendan by saying he doesn't know much about nothing, because who would know that about sharks unless you work in marine biology?
What does the chat say, Alex?
Hold on.
Are people pissed? This is gonna blow up the internet, folks.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be disappointed if nobody's talking about this.
Alex is like, what?
Well, imagine a shark lick. Somebody said, "Aw, imagine a shark lick. Cute."
Okay, so let's never go to the chat.
Yeah, it is.
Ever.
It is our one constant regret. And so
Well, that's the thing. Is a shark tongue, does it feel like a cat's tongue or does it feel like a moose tongue?
Well, it's going to be wet.
Is it?
It can't possibly be dry.
But why? But maybe,
why? Because it
maybe
can't
it's-
purse its lips.
Aren't all tongues kind of wet though?
Yeah. Well, then it's
Yes.
wet but dry at the same time. Like a cat tongue feels dry, but it's wet.
It's the opposite. It feels dry and it's dry.
No, it's wet.
It's wet.
Cats have saliva.
They do, but they dry it out.
What?
What do you mean? You
What?
think cats have a wet tongue? They can wet
I
it.
know cats have a wet tongue.
Not all tongues stay wet.
Hey, you want to know how I know this? Because cats have salivary glands
They
because
do.
they need that to eat. So, of course, their mouths are wet.
Yeah, but you can see a cat when he puts his tongue out. Sometimes they're very dry.
It wets
the bottom
the fur.
the bottom part of it's for sure. No, it's
You
like dry
are-
cleaning.
You're not
It's like
gonna
dry
get me
cleaning
because your
Alex,
face
look
cracked.
it up. Say.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Are
looking
cats'
because
tongues wet?
no, because are they dry? That's what you type. Don't type
No,
your
don't
wet
lead the
mislead-
witness.
Yes, what you're doing.
No, I'm asking.
What are cats' tongues? And then see what it says.
Okay.
How about are cats' tongues wet or dry?
Okay,
Yeah.
but say dry first, because you're leading it again. The algorithm will show it's wet if it's.
But what
if
do
it's
you
W
mean
first.
by dry?
I'm not doubting that they can be wet, but I'm saying for the most part, if a cat's licking you, it's dry licks. Let's see. What does it say? Are moist, not wet, not wet. It says
Moist is wet.
but look. Well, now type that in because it says.
Okay, but then it's saying dogs' tongues are normally moist to slightly damp. So, I would
I
consider
mean,
that wet.
I-
so
but no,
is
but
wet.
Jeet's licks are very like it's not slobber on you. It's very dry lick.
Still wet.
It's a dry lick.
It's not a dry lick. He's not a rub.
Not
for a
him,
turkey.
but the cats are. The cats are dry. If my cat licked me, you'd never know.
Yes,
Besides
you would.
the abrasion.
Because then put it under a light, and you'd see a glisten of liquid where you would be
Not a
able to
shot.
discern that it moistened your
if your
skin.
cat's
If
not
you
a
had
kitten,
cats-
though, I think a kitten carries more saliva than.
I mean,
Wait a minute,
we should
Neil
all be...
deGrasse Tyson. Go ahead and explore what the fuck.
Yeah.
How you got that information? from?
Why do kittens
Kittens
get
have-
wetter than adult pussy?
I just feel like
They're more sexually attractive. That's why.
I just feel like my ex had this kitten, and she would almost like do a little puppy slobber on me when she was licking me.
Sure.
And like it's not a good like test sample with only just one cat, but I feel like I did
I
experience.
see. This
that.
sounds anecdotal at best.
It seems like a shame that we had to have her explain it because the holes grew a many once that happened, and
Yeah.
but there's as many holes in that as we have 5-star reviews, which there are, hundreds of holes and
Hundreds.
reviews. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for leaving us a 5-star review. Please go ahead and do that if you haven't on iTunes. Takes only a second, helps us out a lot.
Everybody that wrote a review has a hole of their own.
In their heart,
Or anus.
well, that yes.
Yeah, that's why.
Imagine if they didn't. If we
Like a
have one
cone
listener
head
who
butt?
has, who has their,
A spackled shut shitter.
oh no,
That would be, title. But
I'm gonna say no.
but yeah, that would be really tough. My grandpa, I probably have told this before, but he had a colostomy bag because he had colon cancer, and more often than not, he would not time things properly. He'd forget his alarm, he'd whatever, and we'd go to, I can't tell you how many restaurants we went to where we all sat down. He went to the bathroom 10 minutes in, he came out, marched directly past the table, and we're like, what? And my dad's like, we gotta go, let's get out of here. And we go into the parking lot, and he's just got shit all over his khakis because he misaimed.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That
So-
happened to my grandmother once in one of the casinos in Atlantic City. She did pretty good. She was super close, but she got a little bit of shit on her fur coat. And
Yeah.
It was an issue.
Spilling a bag is not great, especially since his bag was like a childhood lunch bag. Like it looked like one of those foldable cooler bags that you give a third grader
Yeah,
for their
yeah.
lunch. And that's what he housed his liquid shit in.
So, support the show in other ways. I guess leave a review, whatever. Tell people about it. Go to gasdigitalnetwork.com, sign up with the code IGP, get a 2-week free trial to try and forget what you just heard. And there's over 200 episodes now, and we have the audio, we have the bonus content, we have all the other shows on the network, so you get access to all that stuff, and it gives us some money, which is great. And you can also follow us on social media at Irish Goodbye Podcast across the board, and just type that in, and then, or you can send us an email, irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com, if you got a crazy story for us. We actually have a bunch right here, so I don't know if we're going to get to all of them, because all of you wrote major novels. So we're going to probably read one of these after this right here. And we want to say thank you, guys. Thank you very much, all of you who listen, who tweet about the show, who fucking put up an Instagram story, say, hey, I'm listening to Irish Goodbye Podcast. All of that helps. As seemingly useless as it would appear, it does help us. So we thank you very much for doing that. And also, if you are a member of Gas Digital Network, you get a discount to podcast merch.
Pam. Classics.
You don't have to be a member of Gas Digital Network to get it. You just pay a
our
little bit
original
more.
pub tea is back up.
Yeah, we got the pub tea. Oh, wait, is it?
Yeah, we got the Irish Goodbye. We got that one. We have the Love That Chicken from Popeyes.
Yeah.
And then go back to all of them. Yeah, boom, pub tea. Back
And the
up
pub
there.
tea. That's one of I think that's my favorite one.
I've never
that
seen the white
is
one, and I
illegible.
want that.
Wait, go back to the white. Is it white lettering?
Yep.
I mean, that for sure.
But it's a green
is
circle.
an email that has to happen soon. It's just a green circle. Zoom into that. Who the fuck? Zoom into that.
An email, right?
In case, I mean, who?
Can I get one? I want one.
It actually really highlights the drugs on the top.
It's only the drugs. It's only the drugs. Established 2017, so we've been doing this 3 years.
Do you know what we got to do? We got to start making
Unreal.
merch with some of our catchphrases, some of our fun little banters that we have back and forth, because people typically buy those. And we got a lot of really positive notes from our merch drop for the holidays.
Step to the kid.
And then some real negative ones that really hurt my feelings. And I'm like, listen, I want to hear you out. What are you interested in? But don't tell us that it's the worst you've seen.
Who said that? What bad
Somebody.
people. But thank you very much for everyone who did buy a holiday beanie or hoodie or shirt. To take a picture of that and let us know. We want to see it. It's
Are we getting the
very
hoodies?
exciting. No, I'm still waiting on my hoodies.
What?
Yeah. Well,
month 9.
Oh, nice.
Alex just went, yeah. Well. And you went, oh, nice. Like
This
she
is how
said
easy
nothing.
it is to work with me. You just say yes, and I run with it.
You lead with the yes and then trail off. And Mike's like, perfect. It's a commitment then.
It's why I've stayed with the same agent for 6 years.
So, can you give me more work? Guys, if you want to support us even more than you already do, you can check out our Patreon podcast called What's the Scenario? It is available on patreon.com/scenariopod. We answer hypotheticals with our pal, Brendan Sagalow.
Yep.
And we have a good time doing it, and you should consider joining if you can. It's a cup of coffee a month, and it's a good time. But it's totally different from
putting
this show.
out
If you want to
4
hear,
hours.
if you want to hear stories and fucking irreverence and just fucking us going off the dome and stuff like that, this is the place to do it. If you want to hear us answer hypotheticals and kind of do with this comedic obstacle course, if you will, that you guys create as the audience, then check out What's the Scenario. So,
Do both.
And yeah,
We're very good at this.
come on, you got money. What's your problem?
It's about time that we take off.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I've had it.
I just realized that.
I'm just threatening. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Make us bigger.
And Mike, where gonna people find you?
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be home for a while. I gotta, I want to see my family, so I'm gonna be home. I am filming something next week, though. Secret little project that hopefully I'm gonna have a pretty quick turnaround, but very, very excited to be doing that. So keep your eyes peeled. Subscribe to my YouTube, youtube.com/Mike Cannon Comedy. All stuff is there. I got 4 Frank Rigatones. I got 2 full-length documentary episodes for some reason that I decided to do. I have the 2 short-length kind of, commercial-based ones. I have a full Ellen fucking series that may come back because a certain somebody may have just gotten COVID. And, all this different kind of stuff, TV pilots, everything you could possibly want, all on YouTube. Check it out. Check out Feeney's, youtube.com/Mike Feeney Comedy. Again, like we said, your clicks, your subscriptions, that is currency for us. It costs you absolutely nothing. But the numbers that show up are also leverage for us in this business that people will, it means something. It fucking matters. So anything that you guys can do that costs you nothing, we would really appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to just say to add on to that I don't think I have it up even on my website yet, but Mike MikeFeeneyComedy.com. Go there and get tickets, which is, if you're listening on Monday, this Saturday, probably my last, one of my last gigs of the year, definitely outside of New York. I'll be at City Steam in Hartford the 19th. Come out and check that out. It's very limited seats, indoor, but it's very spaced out and stuff. So come do that. And then also January 7th through the 9th, I'll be headlining Comics Mohegan Sun, and I'll be bringing Brendan Zagalo again with me. So it'll be a fun time. So come to that. And yeah, and also thank you to everybody who's been sharing Rage Against the Routine around. We have, I've noted, I got a message saying that, over the last, 30 days or something like that, there's been like 30,000 new views on it.
Nice.
So people are passing it around. People like it. I love that it's catching on to people. So yeah, just keep sharing. If you watch it, thank you. If you haven't, go check it out. If you watch it, share it with one or two friends that would like it, and then all that stuff helps, because so many people have, a lot of the comments, besides being like fake, whatever, a lot of the comments are things where people are like, I don't know who this guy, I've never seen this guy before. Why did it take me so long to see him? And all that stuff simultaneously feels good for us and also helps us we're like lawyers, independent lawyers who have to build a case for ourselves as the client to be like, look, our client is capable of these crimes. I guess he's fighting the other way, but
Yeah, we're building a case for why you should listen to us for free.
Yes, yeah. We thought we had a sound argument.
As in, we're here.
Yeah, and it cost you nothing, and here you are, But the little bit you guys do support is fucking awesome.
That's right.
And I don't know if we'll be in studio again for the rest of the year. We might have to be zooming it up, so if we are...
But we're going to have some really special themed episodes coming up. We got some ideas, some cool stuff where you guys are going to be heavily involved. Just think back to the beginning stages of quarantine and what we managed to pull off with that bit of time. Right?
Yeah.
Alex, what do you got?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Alex Scar, and check out my podcast, Broad Topics, TOPIX, with Kim Congdon, right here on Gas Digital Network every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Or you could catch it for free on iTunes and YouTube every Monday.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
So I was just at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club. First of all, I think I talked about the entire filming process, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. So right after that, the next day, I was in Jersey to do an indoor gig, 25% capacity. Really, Uncle Vinny's, we love that place. Point Pleasant. It was like great, sold pretty well. A bunch of people came out, and it was just one of those fun shows where it's like I had my feet under me. I felt ready to go because I had just spent the three previous days riffing and just just hitting and having to talk at length about certain topics. Mm-hmm. And so I felt in shape comedically, even though I hadn't done stand-up. And it was great. It was just one of these shows that was like, boom, crowd work all over the place, commenting on people in real time. They're giving me a lot. I'm giving them a lot. There was one table that was like a family, and I didn't put together exactly what their dynamic was the entire time, but there was like 8 of them, and I knew there was a mom, dad, and there were some boys, and there were some, older girls. There was one 26-year-old woman who was hilarious. She was the captain of the table, spoke with authority, was just like, yes, and I'm still in school, and we would hit back with some lines and bits and stuff like that. So I have this bit about... It's talking about if my son is gay, right? It's the lifelong bit that everybody has gotten in trouble for making. It's Tracy Morgan, Kevin Hart, all these comics have tried to tackle this bit, and instead they've just gotten canceled for it. So I've taken it upon myself as a challenge to write the bit about the topic, right? I just wanted to do it. So I have this bit, and it's it's like a pro joke, but mixed with irreverence. So it kind of dips in and out, right? And I do this entire joke, and I go through it, and it's about my son, all this stuff, and it kills. And then I'm a couple minutes later back in my set, I look, and at that table, the woman there, even though she's she's not wearing a mask, she was looking at me, and she was just like she looked forlorn or whatever, and I was just like, you haven't, I noticed you haven't really enjoyed much of what's been going on, but that's okay. Certain people have different tastes, and everybody else seems to be having a good time. I actually feel bad that you don't like me, so just typical whatever banter. And didn't think anything of it. Wrap up the set like 20 minutes later. I pop the mask back on, walk back to the table, start to get my stuff together, and she beelines it for me, this woman. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, we're not doing meet and greets anyway.
Right.
But, I when somebody who wasn't enjoying me, or at least that's what I thought, it makes a fucking direct line for me. I'm like, ugh, I'm just gonna hear about something, it's gonna suck. So she comes up to me and she's like, I just wanted to clarify why I wasn't laughing in that moment. I'm like, there's no need. Like, you're allowed not to laugh. It's perfectly fine. And she's like, no, I'm just here with both of my sons, and they recently came out of the closet, both of them, and they both brought their boyfriends. So this is like a really big moment for our family because they feel comfortable enough to bring their boyfriends around. And, that joke was obviously about, having a son that's gay. And it just, I was worried that you were going to mishandle it. And I was worried you were going to hurt my sons. Yeah. And I was just like, fuck, like, as ridiculous as we are.
Cut to Mike doing the joke where he's like, I'd be like, I'll fucking blow with you, dude. And it's just him like blowing multiple dicks.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the set, I'm literally threatening, reverse rape on people where I'm just jumping onto them with an open asshole and trying to tear their dick out of the ground.
Yeah.
So, but I as ridiculous as we are, I thought it goes without saying, but it obviously doesn't. Like, our intent is never to hurt anybody's feelings. Like, even as wild as we're getting out there and the words that we're using, it's all within the context of trying to stretch fun and trying to stretch a joke and laugh at whatever. And so I momentarily my heart fucking broke. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, are they all right? Like, I didn't mean, that's a really big moment, obviously, if they just came out of the closet and they're bringing their boyfriends around. And
they did it on the car ride over.
Yeah, and it's a Southern Jersey family. You know what I mean? Like, they had that vibe.
Open-minded.
Yes, very progress. And so I was like, yes, very progress. Wow, T-shirt. So I was like,
great T-shirt. I mean, under a rainbow.
Yes, very progress, Alex. Write it down! Under a rainbow, an upside down one that's shaped like an open asshole.
No, you can't. See, this is where you go wrong.
Oh. It turns out it didn't hurt their feelings, and they actually came over to me, both sets of gay lords, and they told me how much they liked the joke and the performance. And weirdly enough, they're super young, and all of them looked exactly like their significant other. I was like, you guys are the most fucking narcissistic assholes on earth. Literally, to the point where they have the same hairstyle, glasses, like almost exact, style as well. Weird. And I was like, I mean, they were kind of dressed like 90s Timberlake, so frankly, I was into all of them.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
It was interesting.
That's a beautiful story, though.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah, you were here.
All right.
I did a Zoom show.
Cool.
I did my first Zoom show, and I was like,
Is that corporate?
No.
Okay.
It's just that other one that I did send you a quick video of, though, where I did this Zoom show, and I ended up mistiming, the pot, essentially, where I was told that it was a 7 p.m. show, so they were like, I'll just let you know when because I'm like, I'm not staying and watching the whole show, surely. Yeah. I'll just sign in, but camera off, mic off, and then I'll come in. I said, message me right before I'm supposed to go up or whatever. And so I go in, and I'm like, it says like, host is waiting to let you into the room, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's like 7:05, and they were like, please be there at 6:40. And I'm like, this isn't a real show. You need sound and camera.
There is nothing more infuriating than the Zoom booker asking for you to get there 20 minutes early to a show in your living room.
Yeah, so I fucking...
Suck off everyone.
So I end up...
Another T-shirt.
I'm waiting there. Just two stick figures going at it. And then,
yes, very progress is definitely happening.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And so I end up 7:10, and I email, and I go, what's happening? Somebody let me in. I'm like a kid at the door, and I'm just like, what's going on? 7:20, I get a message being like, oh, yeah, no, it's 7 p.m. Pacific time. It's 10 p.m. But I was like, and then so now I'm like, I'm looking at it, and it says it clear as day on the poster, but I don't. Everyone who says times on posters always gives the Eastern first and the Pacific
right.
7 p.m. for Pacific.
Well, because our time happens first.
Yeah. So why? Yeah. So that's how Alex is giving a that's not correct face.
What's your vantage point from this?
What do you mean by our time happens first? Oh, our 4
7
p.m.
p.m.
happens before theirs. Okay,
Just in the literal, just in the literal context, Alex.
How dare you with your fucking scrinkled up eyebrows?
Bros.
Wrinkled.
I was good at math a couple weeks
bros
ago,
instead of brows.
and I'm
It's all
too
falling
confident.
apart, folks. Alex is still talking. What are you saying?
It's your show. Get your message out there.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on? So,
What did you say?
Oh, never mind. It's okay.
what are we talking
This is the
about?
vibe I like to cultivate here, though, where she's insecure the second time around, where we've belittled her to the point where she's like, you guys just keep riffing.
So where were we?
I don't know. I forget everything post-Alex.
You had the Zoom show.
Zoom show. So I go, all right, whatever, I'll still do it. And they were like, we're sorry about that. We'll throw you some more money for the trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Which was nice.
That is nice.
They took they took the blame for it, which was truly my fault. But I'm like, fuck, all right, I got to do it now. Because I was definitely going to 100% cancel.
Yeah.
To be like, sorry, I'm busy now later at night
yeah.
when everyone has to be home.
I'm going to be shit-faced
Yeah,
by then.
so I do the thing. So I end up smoking, being like, I'll be fine. Like thinking I was like, I'll do the show, then I'll smoke afterwards. Then I end up smoking beforehand. And then I get into the Zoom at 10 p.m. and it's like, lots of blinking. And I'm like, just get it. But my camera isn't on yet. And I'm watching some of the show. And it seems to be, it's like a Bay Area show in San Francisco where like everybody...
Asian?
No.
Oh.
No, everybody knows one another. It's all like a network of comedians. There's like 6 people on the show, and they're all like, this next guy, you're going to remember him if you remember Turtles Lounge, all right? All right, Jessica. Like, they immediately, like, they all have inside jokes with one another. They know how to bring each other up to their credit. So I'm watching this going like, oh, man, I'm starting to get nervous, you know? And some of them you could tell, like, oh, it's 5 years or less, kind of a comedy kind of thing. But the guy who was hosting was really animated and doing as much as you could do as a host to try and bring and there were 40 people in the thing, which was nice. So it's like, all right, it was good circumstance. But then the guy before me goes up, and I don't even remember his name, but it was like, it wasn't Mean Gene, but it was something like, it was somebody where it was like,
It was Lean Dean.
yeah, no, but it was an anger-based comedy name where it was like fucking
Mike Cannon?
no. Yeah, Angry Gangry or something, it was something where his name was like, I'm mad, and then his name. But, the guy was like 40 pounds less than I did. He looked like Bo Burnham. Like, he just was like, a what? And,
Rageful Ralph.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Yeah. So he was Furious Fred. And so or Angry Andrew. And so we have so many, come on, get
Yeah. I'm trying. I gotta tell you, I'm trying. I'm looking at you and I'm racking my brain.
Pissy Pete.
Oh, Alex before Mike. The show won't move on until.
You said Furious, right?
Yeah.
Livid Larry.
There you go. All right, and we're back.
I win.
So I win. You win something, all right. And so whatever. So, the guy is going on and he's doing like, I could see what he's doing. It's like a character kind of a thing where you're like, I'm depressed but angry at how dumb everybody is kind of a thing. And you could tell like in this scene, he's for sure like, he's like one of the guys, he won some comedy competition. Like he's like because they build him as one of like the, one of the main acts of the show.
Right.
So I was very excited to see, because he was right before me. So so it starts out of this whole thing of being like, well, I was going to get my dinner, but like my dinner came, I didn't know I was supposed to go. He was just genuinely angry, being like, my dinner came and I was told I wasn't going until last, so now I don't have time to eat my dinner. It's going to get cold. And they start doing like other jokes, but like keeps referring back to the dinner getting cold and how much he doesn't want to be there and how much this is like, everything would have been better. But like just, in like a very like still trying to be funny and then doing very, again, like almost Bo Burnham-y bits where they're like, like this is heady, but as a comics have been doing a long time, we're like, this is like the surface heady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so
it was
I don't even mean
it was like my comedy after watching Purple Onion. Like Zach Galifianakis' special. It was like I dabbled in absurdism for like 8 months because of that fucking stupid special.
Yeah, so it was something like, very absurdist kind of a thing. So you're like, and I'm not trying to shit on the guy. It is what it is. He was fine. There were some people laughing and stuff, but just, I was kind of like, it seems weird. Like, first off, none of the comics want to be here.
No.
So that is already kind of like boy, I can't even see you guys. And then a joke would not do well and he would fucking have like an angry save, those kinds of comics.
Yeah.
So whatever. So they, so he's going through his thing and I'm sitting here being like, I don't know that this is the way to win him, but it's funny because the person, and this always happens. The comic who's complaining about how little fun he's having and how much better he is than the show always blows the light. Would you? Oh, I mean, always. And blows the light by like 4 minutes on a 12-minute spot or whatever it is. And you just go, those people are always the same, aren't they? It's always the person who's like, I'm not. No. Yeah, Bo Burnham. I get at least one of those in. But it was like, you just go like, I can't, it's never the person who's like, I'm having a great time. Those guys will go over too, but it's the people who are always, oh, this sucks. I'm not having a good time.
That happens on rooftops too. I just did an outdoor show where it was on the roof in a penthouse, and it's 30 degrees. They have the heat lamps that do nothing. So you're performing on cold Mars and it's just,
and the microphone is so cold, which by the way, I just want to say on a side note, we're plowing through all this stuff. So if we don't get to some of these stories, we'll get to them.
We will.
Some other week.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But, and it was just one of those things. Yeah, it was one of those things where like, a couple comics were phoning it in, and it's like, this is it. The comedy season is fucking over, dude.
Yeah.
We're in whipping winter. There's no reason for this to continue. And, even if the shows are available, that doesn't mean people are going to continue to come. It's like, just fucking put it all out there. Like, I don't know if that's from like the athlete background or whatever, that I'm like,
leave it all on the field.
Yeah, Lombardi, when a warrior lays, lifeless on the field, he's given everything he has to the game, all that bullshit. But I truly believe in that. I hate the fucking hands in the pocket approach, like deer in headlights, man. Ain't this shitty? And it's like, yeah, now for sure.
People are even leaning against the outside walls on roofs, and you're like, why? You know what I mean? It's like a comedy.
I sat up on it and just rocked back and forth in hopes that I just like lost balance.
What do you mean?
I was just I said such crazy stuff in my last set that like I was like, can somebody please take this career away from me? So I was like, I'm out here begging for it. I'm wearing a short skirt on the fucking West Side Highway.
Yeah.
Somebody just molest me.
You just reminded me because I did 2 spots at New York Comedy Club last week, and it was just, or maybe it was over the weekend. And the first show, they were light but great.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like a new bit audience where they were like, okay, I can see where that's going to be a thing, whatever. And then the second show sold out,
Is that a queef?
I don't know what that was.
Did you queef?
I don't know how I felt about that noise.
It wasn't me.
Was that air coming out of Alex's vagina?
No, it wasn't. It was something in the background. I don't know.
You heard that though, right?
I did hear it.
It sounded exactly like a fart excretion between labia minora and majora.
Well, I think it was a high pitch, but like
it sounded like a baby elephant saying hello to its mother.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, that's all you had to do was apologize for queefing.
There's a title. Now, so I had a t-shirt. I did 2 shows at New York Comedy Club. The first show was good. Second show, packed, but shit-faced drunk. Because you could tell people and people are like prepared. It was fucking freezing that night, dude. They had people had blankets that came prepared. Nice. But I walk up, as I'm walking up, there's 4 people talking, like 2 groups, and 2 and then 2 because they spread them out. But like the 2 are like talking drunkly to the other 2 as I walk up. I go, hey, how's it going? And the person, give me a drink, give me a drink. Mm-hmm. And then the person gives him a drink. They botch the handoff. It drops, it falls, it spills everywhere. They go, fuck, sorry, give me another drink. They go for a second drink. The second drink falls and spills all over the place. And I go, do not do a third handoff. And then I just, so that stops.
Dude, I watched a guy accidentally tip over his wine bottle, and it just went into the girl's purse. Oh. I was like, yes! Oh, so you just
and so I get so mad at those guys, and people are kind of drunk, and they're like, yeah, kind of paying attention, and they're like, so I felt at one point I like had him so good, and then one dude just went to stand up when I go, I might lose you on this next bar, because I was like, you know when you feel so confident that you're like, I got him right where I want him. I know this is a short set. I'm going to do this bit that is very hard to pull off in a short set. You know what I'm talking about. It's very hard to pull off in a short set. You need a longer set to get them more on your side, but they were fucking, I was killing. I was like, I was like, I got you. And I go, you might pull back, but you guys are good. You know me from before. You know me, so just stay with me. And the first guy goes to stand up to go pee, and I do that fun thing where I'm like, shitty time to leave. Sit back down, sir. And he just goes, oh, okay. And sits back down. So I'm like, I literally have them where I want them, you know? And then I go into the bit, lose everybody, and I mean everyone. People start going into their phones. Another one's like, pass the drink again. They start doing that. And then by the end of it, I'm like, I got a dog. I start doing like fun dog stuff.
It's me, Dog Boy.
That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.